Okay, Klaus, so what is chitting potatoes?
Chitting really means to get the green shoots. And that's actually going to be the stem of your potato.
Yeah, I
if you
was
think
going to
about
ask
it.
that.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the stem.
Yeah.
So really the idea of chitting is you're just giving it a bit of a head start before you
Head
put it
start,
into the ground.
absolutely. Put them in an egg box or somewhere and place that in the light on your windowsill. But if you want to get a bigger potato, what you do is you remove all the buds and leave just one. And then all the energy goes into producing a few big potatoes. If you have loads of shoots on, all that means you get a high yield of lots and lots of potatoes.
Okay.
The overall yield will be better if you leave them on. It's not necessary to chit, if you need to plant them and they haven't got chits on, that's
Just go
fine.
ahead.
You can still plant them.
Okay.
So you don't want the weak shoots, because when you plant them, look what happens, they break off.
With potatoes, there are loads of different ways to plant them, but talk us through what your preferred method is.
Stick them in as deep as you can,
Okay.
and if you put them upside down or around, they'll still grow up. So you put your hand in as deep as you can, that's 15 centimeters, and as you move your hand back now, you slide the potato in, look.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and if you don't do that, the soil falls back again,
Yes.
and then you cover it up.
Okay. Is there any specific kind of preparation in the soil for potatoes?
Yeah, well, I dug it over and I added maybe 3 wheelbarrows of good compost.
And was that done last winter or
No,
just
that
recently?
was done a couple of weeks ago.
Right, we put in a few potatoes there earlier on and they're coming up nicely now.
And I used earthing up also as weed control. So I drag the soil from the path and cover the weeds which are there. So instead of having to bend down and weed them, but it also gives them a much better growing space and a better yield.
Yeah. So we've a lot of different potato plants here. So
Different plants, and they look quite different too, isn't it? That's the Orla. And I'm going to start digging them now, from now onwards. Then there's 2 beds of Nicola, lovely salad potato,
Small
this
little-
yellow
yeah.
waxy one.
yeah, yeah,
And then the healthy ones over there, they're called Sarpomira.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, now is the time we have to watch out for blight, really. There was loads of blight warnings around already, and I always ignore them until July.
Okay.
It really is pointless to think about it earlier. It's the overcast, warm, humid day, when midges are about, that's when
Yeah,
you
that's
really
perfect for
panic
blight.
about blight, yeah.
Klaus, if we do get a little bit of blight, we can basically cut the foliage off and leave the tuber still under the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll cut off the blight actually.
Or even less, you say if there's spots on the leaves now, remove that particular leaf
Okay.
when blight appears.
Yeah.
When it's bad, then you cut off the whole leaves. Cut them right down at ground level and remove all the foliage.
Leaving them in the ground without the foliage, they'll
Perfect.
build up a skin on
They'll
them,
build
will
a hard skin and they mature fully, and then, at the earliest 2 to 3 weeks after you
Okay.
cut the leaves down, you could dig them for storing. And when you know it's blight, it's a smell partly.
Yeah.
You could smell it in the air. Have you smelled a rotten potato?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
it's that sort of, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
quite a sharp,
Quite a strong,
Back of the nose sort of
strong
smell,
smell.
yeah.
And there's 2 ways actually of blight travelling. I told you already, it can travel down the midrib, and you watch it today and then tomorrow and the day after again. And if
And
it
you'll see it.
spreads, then it's blight.
okay.
Blight is very, very fast. So within a matter of 3-4 days, the whole plant could be flat. But if you have very heavy downpour,
It can be washed
it
down.
washes down from the leaves, the spores, down into the tuber. That's why it's so important to have a nice ridge. Do you see that?
Yeah. And that's
So the
basically-
water runs down onto the path and goes
Yeah.
away.
Okay.
See, that's the miracle. You put 1 tuber in and you get 10, 15
Yeah.
tubers, massive ones if
Yeah.
the conditions are right. You don't need that many potatoes to feed a family. We have 7 in the family and we have 4 drills, 1 early, 3 main crops, and they're about 12 meters long each.
Yeah.
So that's 650 square meters.
Yeah.
And that feeds, last year we had potatoes until late May.
Mm.
Fantastic, isn't
Yeah,
it? We had
great.
1 month without potatoes
Yeah.
in
so you're
June.
pretty much getting the whole year
Yeah.
round.
When you dig them, you really have to try and get every one out. Only dig out what you want for your dinner or for the
Yeah.
week. It's
And
fantastic.
as long as you keep an eye on them and keep them weed free, important to get
And
the air
well earthed
circulation
up.
around them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an awful lot to do.
No, fantastic, isn't
Yeah.
it? And it takes a few hours to plant them.
Yeah.